Hi, this is Andrew Moore-Crispin with campgear.tv, and today we're going to be doing a boil test. 500 mils of water at ambient temperature, which today is 9 or 10 degrees, using the Vargo titanium Hexagon wood stove and a Mark Jurey designed penny alcohol stove. So first things first, I'll take the penny out of here, take the simmering off. Here we have just some alcohol. This is actually fondue fuel, so not the cleanest burning stuff in the world, but at about $1 for, actually at $1 from any dollar store for a liter of this stuff. It's a pretty worthwhile trade-off, I've found. I do actually have some marine alcohol as well. I bought I think four liters of that last time we were camping, and we actually didn't have enough Coleman fuel to run our stove and didn't really bring much of a backup. This thing actually ended up cooking all of our meals using the marine alcohol, which is much cleaner burning, much more reliable, but I think it cost me something like $35 for that little 4-liter container. So I'm going to do a full fill on the penny alcohol stove here. We'll drop the penny on. It's pretty close to a full fill. I'm going to drop the penny on, put this thing in here, nest the Vargo titanium Hexagon wood stove around the penny alcohol, lock it in place here, and now I can actually do our finishing fill just for priming. There we go, it's good enough. Alright, so now we're going to light this thing up. Or we're going to try anyway. There we go. So you're going to be very careful, obviously, not to knock the thing and spill the alcohol everywhere. So this thing will take 30 seconds, maybe a minute, because I did overfill it a little bit to get primed up. As soon as we have some blue flame jets shooting out of the side of this thing, we'll come back and we'll actually start our boil. Alright, so that was probably about a minute to prime. If we were actually in the field, I would have just dumped the pot on and started boiling it right away. But in the interest of controlling as many variables as possible, I decided to actually let it prime up fully. So we'll take our pot, our 500 mils of water, dump that in here. Excuse the mess on my deck, we're currently sorting out all our camping gear. So now we will take this pot, put it on the top here like this, and start our timer. Handy to have a tent spike or maybe a twig on hand just to close the door up here. Seeing not as much flame bloom happening around the side as when we tested with the Trangia alcohol stove, which is over here. But we'll see how long this takes. The Trangia took under 6 minutes to boil. Here, just coming up on 30 seconds in. We'll check in when we actually have some action starting to happen. I will put the lid on here in the interest of conserving as much energy as possible. So like I said, we'll be back once we actually have some action starting to happen. Just checking in here to see how well this alcohol stove is working. Really impressed with Mark Jurey's design here. You can see the thing, it really has pressurized nicely. We had a little bit of flame leakage earlier just coming out from underneath this penny. You can still see it a little bit there, but really the pressure really is coming out and hitting the pot pretty square on. We've had the door closed up until this point. You can see we're actually hitting the side of the Vargo titanium, so that's going to be obviously quite hot to the touch, but I'm hoping that all of that heat is, or at least most of that heat is being transferred up into this pot here. We're starting to hear some sounds. We're 4.5 minutes in. Start to get quite a lot of steam happening from the top of the pot. No boiling action yet, but we have a lot of bubbles forming. So we'll see. Hopefully this will be a under 6-minute boil, just like the Trangia was. Alright, so we just passed the 5-minute mark, and it looks like we have a boil going. Check this thing out. Yep, a full rolling boil. Oh, fogged up the lens again. But yeah, full rolling boil, 5 minutes in. So we might actually want this one to go a little bit more just so we get a really heavy boil. But I could probably fix that issue by just using a primer cap, which I do have somewhere, just to lift the stove up a little. Maybe even just I don't know, a couple centimeters even would make this flame pattern hit the bottom of the pot more directly. But I'm pretty impressed. 5-minute boil, almost exactly actually 5 minutes to boil this thing. So as we did with the Trangia, we could also slide our simmering on here if we're really careful. Let's see if we're actually able to do this. little difficult, little fiddly, and you don't really want to be, you know, having any of these super hot blue flames hitting your hand. But I think if you really needed to, if you were making like a risotto or something on the trail, God knows why you'd want to do that. But I think you probably could actually get that in there. I'm not going to try it today. In fact, using the Trangia, that is a lot easier to get the simmering on. I'm a little nervous to even really try it here. But you can see our penny alcohol stove still going strong. 5-minute boil, 10 degrees, 500 mils of water at ambient temperature. So for more great camp gear reviews, news, and helpful how-tos, visit campgear.tv. Until next time, I'm Major Moore Crispin. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I was actually, just as a quick addendum, I was able to get the simmering ring on. What that involved doing was taking the pot off here, picking the simmering ring up with tent spike and just kind of gently putting it on. Had a couple failed attempts, but we did finally get the thing on there. So if I close the door here, you can already hear that we have a reasonably nice simmer going. So let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, so we're simmering so we could make pretty much whatever we want on the trail.